This is being recorded on Thursday, February 16th, 2012. Hola, bitches! No, I did not come up with that on my own. That actually comes from a local radio show that I listen to frequently. The Men's Room on 99.9 FM KISW, the Rock of Seattle. No, I'm not looking to be an announcer. That's just how it sounds. Anyways, yeah, I've been listening to the Men's Room for almost 10 years. They were on another station locally, and when that station reformatted, thank God they got picked up by the local rock station. So, and actually, no, they're not. They're kind of sort of DJs, but they do more talking than they do rocking. At least on their show, which is just fine with me, because they used to be an all-talk show, 4-hour talk show, and just funny stuff and amusing, and I guess those are kind of the same thing, and informative, and yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that they do. That's not really what I wanted to talk about, but it is an interesting way to open up this vlog. Not that there's really any video on these vlogs. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't done any video on these vlogs. I've done slideshows, but not videos. That's still something that's beyond my capacity. I've got the demo version of Fraps, Fraps, but that only runs for 15 seconds, and it gives you soundless video. And it only works on video games. I haven't quite been able to figure out a way how to capture my desktop or anything I'm doing on there. When I do, that'll be awesome. But, yeah, in the meantime, I'm just kind of stuck here. So, So, yeah, Ava, this is a great way to start out this vlog. After 2 months, this is the best you can do. No, people have been bothering me on YouTube, and they're actually starting to ask on CollectionDX.com. That doesn't happen very often, but it is starting to happen, which means, oh boy, I better stick my neck out for a moment. I have just been, I don't know if I should apologize or not for this, but I am just not necessarily overwhelmed, but I am obsessed right now with SD Gundam Capsule Fighters. I announced it 2 months ago in early December when I had actually signed up with it, and I've been playing it for a couple weeks. Well, I've been playing that game almost non-stop for the last 2.5 months. I get up in the morning, and I play it for about an hour, then I go down to breakfast, and as soon as I'm done with the breakfast, I come back upstairs, get on my laptop, and I'm just doing that for the majority of the day. To the negligence of chores and other activities and things like that, of course. This thing is basically ruling my life. This is the example I'm using, I had a dream several weeks ago. It would have been in January, late January. I had a dream about Stargate SG-1. You know, that TV show that was on for 10 years and 200-something episodes, which was really awesome, and I didn't get to see enough of, even though I really thought it was great. Yeah, that show. Anyways, I was dreaming about that, but instead of having the regular main cast of characters, you know, the actors in their places, I saw SDGO units in their place. It was the same voices, just I had little SD chibi mobile suits walking around all over the place and yakking away. I was like, what is wrong with me, Ava? Seriously. So, and yeah, that's pretty much the reason why I haven't been doing anything since my last vlog entry. I'm just, like I said, I'm obsessed with this game. It's so awesome. Unfortunately, I've been doing the same thing that I did in X-Deal. I'm not a fast-paced gamer. I never have been. The thing I'd like to do, it's not the challenge of trying to overcome a person. It's the trick of learning the patterns that a random person will pull on you, and not necessarily playing the same person over and over and over who's on the opposing team. That's not it. But when I play the co-ops, the allied missions or whatever they are, where you're on the same team and you're fighting just against AI enemies, against drones, computer drones, I play that more often because it's recognizable. It's easy to know what they're going to do next. That doesn't mean they don't catch me by surprise still. It just means they're easy to predict, and I kind of know what it takes to defeat them. With PvP, you know, player versus player, not so much. I've never been into the one versus all mentality. That's something I can't do. I've always been a team player in that regard. The excuse being that I'm a long-range sniper, shooter, and not a sword wielder. So, yeah, it's nice to have other players around who can do that kind of thing. We recently got an update for SDGO. Let's see, it was last week. This is Thursday, and so they did it last week on Wednesday. 3 new capsule machines, and they finally gave us S rank units. There's a multi-tier system. C ranks are the low-level grunt mobile suits, and there's a whole bunch of them out there. You know, the mass production, you know, who cares about these guys? They love to explode in the backgrounds, those kinds. B rank are kind of low-level commanders. A ranks are, okay, we're getting into serious Gundams and Char and all those other types. And then the S ranks are the top level. These are the heavy-hitting, fastest, most defensible units in the game. And so SDGO players in the North American server have been begging, basically, for the last 2.5 months, 3 months, almost 3 months now, OG Planet, please give us S rank units, because they are... SDGO has been a game for 4 years, almost a little over almost 5 years now, because it's been running since 2007. To put it into perspective for you, this game started when Gundam 00 was still on there. Okay, that's how old this game is. But it hasn't been translated into English and brought over to English-speaking servers until December 2011. So, yeah, there's the SDGO wiki. Go ahead, look it up yourself. Everything internationally is there. All the information available is there. Well, not everything, but they cover a lot of ground. But so we know it's out there as far as the American server is concerned. But we just don't have them yet. They're introducing them slowly, just as they did internationally. Although I think we're getting them a little quicker than. Yeah, you see, I'm obsessed. I've wasted about 5 minutes now talking about this video game. So yeah, I need help. Just to distract myself, in early January, I threw up 2 Dark of the Moon text and picture only reviews. You guys are wondering where my reviews have been. Guys, look over on Collection DX. I also have reviews over there, okay? Yes, I am pimping CDX, CollectionDX.com. Yes, I am doing that. So look over there. And by the way, unlike anybody else, and I mean anybody else who has written a review for Collection DX, I'm the only one who has a list in their user profile of all the reviews that I've done. I've tried to say this numerous times, and people don't seem to believe me on it, or they're just, too long, didn't read, those kinds of things. But, yeah, so I published my reviews of Dark of the Moon Roadbuster and Crankcase, which I both gave glowing reviews to. There were 1 or 2 little things that kind of really, but otherwise, not bad toys. I would like to get more. Sadly, I have not been to a toy store since November. This is really sad. And this is before SDGO, by the way. It's just I don't have the money to travel around right now. I say that all the time, People ask me, Ava, where do you get the money to pay for these toys, these Japanese toys and the American toys? Well, kind of the privilege and thrill, I suppose, of working for CollectionDX.com. I say working. I don't get paid for this. People think I get paid for this. It's like, no, I don't. I don't get paid for my work on CollectionDX. I've been volunteering for 7 years. This is all out of my pocket. But the thing that allows me to continue doing these reviews, even though I've been unemployed since 2007, yes, I'm still unemployed, is that we get a lot of samplers in from CollectionDX. We get I go to Josh B and I say, hey, can you go to Hasbro? Can you go to Bandai Japan? Can you go to Lego and see if they've got samplers for this, and this? So he'll go to them, and lo and behold, yes, they will, or no, they won't. So that is how I'm able to get these really expensive toys. Well, how I'm able to get toys, period. And I just forgot what I was going to say. That happens, unfortunately. I think it's a side effect of the Asperger's syndrome. I'm not sure. I was diagnosed in 2003, I believe. Yes, I was diagnosed in 2003. And I haven't been to a psychiatrist since. Fortunately, I'm not one of those cases where I had been to a lot of counseling beforehand for things that were, let's see, things that were for something that other than Asperger's syndrome. Like they thought that I had oppositional defiance disorder and ADHD. They thought I had those. And then a psychiatrist from the University of Washington came along one day, and it was completely unrelated why I was seeing her, but she's like, you know what, you don't have ADHD, you have Asperger's syndrome, you have high-functioning autism. And the heavens kind of opened up, and but since then I haven't gone to see a psychiatrist or anything like that. I can't afford it. Even with the government medical bills that I basically lived month to month on, I still can't afford to go to a specialist in Asperger's syndrome. It's so difficult. Just believe it or not, Asperger's syndrome is still, even almost 20 years after it was officially recognized as a diagnosis in the United States, worldwide really. There's still aren't. It's still relatively new in the medical community. Yes, we've heard of it, but there aren't that many specialists in it. As a matter of fact, a couple of weeks ago in the news, there was an article about I can't think, was it the higher U.S. government medical body, whatever it's called, thinking about redefining Asperger's syndrome because it's got so many variables to it. It's very much true that there are a lot of people that every single diagnosis, no two are exactly the same. There's always a variation to it, and so they're going to try and redefine Asperger's syndrome so they can kind of narrow it down a little bit. And that makes me sound like they're trying to cut the fat, and that kind of makes me nervous. It's like, nah, you used to have Asperger's syndrome. You don't anymore. Legally, you don't have it anymore. I'm like, really? Speaking of Transformers, you guys remember Sableye fan who sold me all of his deluxe transforming Megazords from Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and I did video and text and picture reviews, and we did our first co-reviews on CDX with those. It's kind of an experiment. People liked that, by the way, so we have started doing it more. I think Andrew and Josh did one for, I don't know, like Macross or something. I don't know. I don't care. Anyways, he got in contact with me a couple of weeks ago. This would have been this would have been late January, and he said, I've got a bunch of toys. Do you want to buy them? I said, I don't have the money to buy them. How about we trade? And we hashed out the details, and so he's going to be giving me, get this, Sableye fan is going to be trading me, and these are all robots in disguise, RID, okay? He's going to be giving me RID Optimus Prime, Ultra Magnus, so I will be able to make Omega Prime, which I'm not big on the RID line, but I know that people like those, and I took a second look, and yeah, I remember Fire Convoy. He was kind of neat. So, yeah, I've got those two. And then he's going to be giving me Rapid Run, Rail Racer, and Midnight Express, so I'll be able to make the train Gestalt combo thingy. I can't remember what the name of that is off the top of my head. And then he's also giving me RID Prowl, which is the only one of the three Autobot brothers that he had that I wanted ever. Yeah, X-Brawn and Sideburn are kind of ugly, and I didn't like how they transform, and I don't like the colors, and I don't like how they look, so I was like, nah, that's good, I'll just take Prowl. And so, that's a lot. I mean, those are some really popular toys from RID. Those are some of the headliners from that show. What did I trade him for? Well, I traded him for my DX Gosei Great, DX Gosei Ground, and Skyke Brothers set. The only Goseiger toy, not toys, but toy, that I now have is my Gosei Blaster. That's the only one I kept. Of the 5 that I reviewed, that's the only one I kept. So, I am so glad to be rid of those things. They've basically been taking up space in my bedroom in a box for the last 2 years now, and I wanted to get rid of them badly. In my opinion, I think I made the better deal here. Just because they're crap. They're not crap toys, and yet they are crap toys, and well, you guys know my opinion on that. So yeah, I think I made off with a pretty good deal there. He offered me Ruination, was it the RID version of what's it called, Bruticus. He offered me that, but I didn't like the coloring, and there were some parts missing. And I was like, nah, thanks. People are probably looking at me like, what? You passed up Bruticus? You passed up Ruination? What's wrong with you? I don't have that kind of connection to Transformers Gestalts, okay? I can't, why am I saying Gestalts? I don't know, does that even work? Combiners. I'm not big on Transformers brand name combiners, okay? So just, shh, okay? I know what I'm doing. Now, you guys are probably wondering, am I going to be reviewing them for Collection DX? Well, the thing is, I had to double check, and all of them have already been reviewed for CollectionDX.com. I think Josh reviewed all of them. So, you won't see text and picture from me. However, I might, keyword here, might, do the video reviews. Might. I mean, I haven't given it much thought. I've been obsessed with SDGO, so, yeah, I haven't given it much thought. Oh! And speaking of YouTube and SDGO, 3 of you from YouTube and even from Collection DX have found me on SDGO, and you are now members of Clan Okami on SDGO. So yeah, they just it's so funny. These people, wait, are you Ava Unit 4A from CollectionDX.com? I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, I love your reviews. Ah! There's this one character. I don't know his YouTube name, but on SDGO, he's Cool Kid 9514. For like the first 3 weeks, he was part of Okami. He was my first YouTube recruit. He basically worshipped the ground that I was walking on, or treading, or shooting up, or whatever you want to call it when you're doing it digitally. And it took a while for the hero worship thing to go away. I was like, wow, I've never felt something like this before. Like, my YouTube channel was nothing compared to what this guy was throwing at me. He's like, oh my God, I love your stuff. Oh, you're so amazing. Oh, no. It's just kind of bromance. It's like, dude, calm down. Seriously. He finally got out of that, and now he's insulting me occasionally. So, you know, I was like, okay, that's good. He's a regular player now. And then I recruited Shiraishi, who's another SDGO name. And who's the third one? Oh gosh, I'm blanking and I feel terrible about that. Anyways, yeah, 3 of you have found me after I recommended it, and yeah, you're all members of Okami now. And hey, didn't I say we'd get along just fine? You know what? We do. I'm on there, you know, almost all the time except for recording vlog entries and doing random text and picture reviews. But yeah, hey, I'm there. I told you we'd have fun. So yeah, there are your shoutouts for the day. Enough with the SDGO already. Rrr. Okay, something else. Super Sentai. How about? Why not? I think since August. Is that right? Yeah, it would have been around August 2011. I haven't been watching Go-Onger. I just kind of. The last one I saw was the Jetman tribute where Black Condor makes a return just for the one episode. That's the last one I saw. It was after they had introduced the Furai Maru, but before they introduced Mako-kan. I haven't seen the episode with Mako-kan in it yet. Do I want to? People have been asking me if I'm going to review Mako-kan. They've been asking for quite a while now. When I found out, initially, okay, Go-Onger, not the best Super Sentai. It was just kind of meh the whole time. Although when I was watching it at the time, I was still kind of enamored with Super Sentai. I was like, I don't care. It's Super Sentai. I love it. I don't care. I think it kind of burned me though. So I saw all of Go-Onger, but I didn't think very much of it. It's just kind of silly and kind of sort of parody of Super Sentai. It was like a remake of Gekiso Sentai Karenga! But I just didn't think very much of it. So I was like, you know, I got the toys. I'm satisfied with that. No, I'm not reviewing Kyoritsuo. Shut up! God damn. And you know what? Was it Engine Daishogun G9? You guys can use your own imaginations on that, okay? Stop asking. I'm not going to do an extra additional video review, okay? I'm done with Go-Onger, okay? Use your own imaginations to figure out what it looks like. Plenty of other people have done Engine Daishogun with all the other components for Engine G9, okay? You don't need me to do it for you, okay? Just shut up. So, Go-Onger is not that great. And then they decide to make their final mecha, the final mecha tribute for Go-Onger is freaking Go-Onger. Really? wow, it's kind of like Bandai, Plex, and Toei were kind of going, Go-Onger should have done better in the ratings. You know what? Go-Onger was not that great. Like the theme song was the best part of that show. Very, very addictive, by the way, if you've heard it. And they're like, you know what? Maybe we should promote it a little more because, Power Rangers Samurai is doing the Go-Onger Power Rangers RPM thing. They're kind of doing that. You know what? Let's do our big final mecha as a Go-Onger tribute. Never mind the fact that the Die Ranger thing, they didn't do much. They didn't do anything with that. It's just kind of the aura spirit thingy floating around the Go-Kaio, and that's kind of it. And I was like, eh. The O-Ranger thing was just kind of, eh. I would like to have seen Goren Go-Kaio, which had that VTOL helicopter, very balloon, very, very, however you say it, very Birun, from the first Go-Kaiger, what was it, 199 great, whatever it's called. If they'd done a toy of that, I would have gotten that. That would have been neat. And by the way, did anybody else notice that all of the mecha tributes that were turned into toys are only from the last 10 years? Or, I'm sorry. Is that right? Other than was it Jew Ranger tribute, the dinosaur thing. Other than that, all of the mecha tributes happened after 2001. I'm sorry, after 2000. Really? How about we get the head swapping thing from O-Ranger? How about we get the Geki Ranger thing? Why didn't they have little tigers and the wildcats or whatever it is just popping out of the chest components? You know what I would like to have seen for their Go-Go 5 tribute? I would like to have seen, was it Red Ladder, which is Pyro Rescue 1 from Lightspeed Rescue. I would like to have seen them do that, a fire truck that can break apart and then it forms like a crane arm and hooks and fire extinguisher and things like that when it pops out of Go-Kaio. That would have been neat. I would like to have seen that. It didn't even need light and sound. It just, that would have been awesome. But no, they didn't do that. They gave us frickin' Go-Onger. And not only did they do that, but they also did a mecha that we had not seen previously, which kind of sort of broke the rules. And oh my god, this thing, it's huge. It's huge. To fit on a 12-foot mecha, it's huge. 12-inch mecha, my bad. That's Go-Kaio. Go-Kaio is freaking Gao Go-Kaio, which I never liked to begin with. So that thing was fail. Was it Kanzen Go-Kaio? Kansei? Kanzen. Right, because Kansei means complete, I think. Anyways, Kanzen Go-Kaio, at first it was interesting, not so much anymore. When I realized that, this is going to be the final mecha release, I was like, what? Come on! I was expecting a carrier or maybe a second original Gokaiger mecha, something like that. You remember my video review of Gojujin, I was expecting something to attach to the back of Gojujin because of all the extra panels and the rotating ratcheting things in the back there. They didn't do anything with it. And by the way, the combination between Gojujin and Go-Kaio, fail. So, no, I'm not going to get Mako-Kan, and no, I'm not going to review Go-Kaio. That was just, wow. That was just such a bad idea. That was awful. I mean, it didn't look that great, and I was on the fence about it, but when I found out it's the last mech, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting that. I'm still trying to find Furai Maru, but, yeah, Furai Maru will be the last toy that I get. Oh, I'm still trying to find a Gokai Spear. I still want one of those, absolutely. But beyond that, beyond those two toys, that'll be it for me. People have been asking if I'm going to be getting, was it Gokai keys? I'm sorry, Ranger keys. I'm starting to forget. It's been so long since I've seen the show. I'm starting to forget. People have been asking if I'm going to get Ranger keys. The answer is, well, I already have Ranger key set 1. And since they all do pretty much the same thing, it was a neat idea at the time, but it's just kind of worn. It's run its course. Is basically my excuse. It's run its course, and I'm kind of done with Gokaiger at this point. So don't expect too much from me on that in the near future. Tokume Sentai Go-Buster. It's morphin' time! That's... Does anybody else think that those guys went to REI when they were designing the costumes for the suits? I mean, seriously, they've got racing goggles and helmets. They've got sports jackets. They've got they're like windbreakers or whatever they are, made out of leather. They've got the boots for it. Their henching device is sunglasses on a wrist-mounted device, which is awesome, by the way. Digital camera with a long focus lens on it. They've got binoculars. What's the other thing they have? Anyways, yeah. So that I'm kind of on the fence on whether or not I'm actually going to follow this one closely or not. We already have Go-Buster Ace, which is the red-colored solo transforming mecha. That's recently been not announced, but we've actually seen detailed pictures of the toy finally. Very much harkens back to classic Super Sentai toys, so I'm kind of looking forward to that one. I still haven't seen clear pictures of Go-Buster O, though. What I have seen of it is still the digital painting, drawing, whatever it is. The feet on that thing are enormous, and it has bigger ears than the rabbit helicopter mecha thingy does, which is like, wow, really? And speaking of Go-Buster, just last week, the first week of February, we found out that they're, just like in Go-Onger, the Go-Buster are going to be getting 2 new mecha and rangers with their own henching devices. Cell phones that transform into guns! And a driving steering wheel, a car steering wheel that transforms into a sword. That's actually not too bad. I kind of like that one. But they do that, and it makes me wonder, are they trying to do a remake of Go-Onger here with Go-Buster? Is that what they're trying to do? Because a lot of not necessarily how the mecha combine, but the trend of the weapons, the henching devices, how the team is created. And by the way, the 2 additional rangers, green and pink, are going to have insect-themed mecha. I wonder if that's going to be a nod to Hurricaneger. I'm not sure. That's just me talking out my ass. For the most part, it looks good, but I don't want to jump on it too quickly because Go-Onger I have to get it. And then I got them and I'm like, these really aren't that great. So I'm wondering, my initial reaction video that I did, ooh, this is interesting. How interesting. That looks interesting. Shout out. Those genuinely were initial reactions, and whenever we first see these things, and the same was true even of Go-Sager. I mean, you know my opinions of it now, but when I first saw the Go-Sager mech, yeah, okay, the toys and stuff, yeah, these look kind of interesting. I could get these. It wasn't until about 2 months later when the toys actually started coming out and getting the reviews, that's when I saw, oh shit. Someone made the comment that Super Sentai has been getting closer to the ground every year, and I was like, you know what, Go-Sager actually touched the runway. And he's like, yeah, that's true. So, yeah, I'm probably still going to get some of the stuff from that, though. I'm not as enthusiastic as I was initially, but we'll see. We'll see. Power Rangers Super Samurai is just around the corner if it hasn't started already. Have I been watching Samurai and Super Samurai? No, I don't care. Have I finished watching Shinkenger? No, I don't care. I had Daikaio. That was enough for me. You guys are you're so wormy, it just kind of drives me crazy. For 2 years, I'm not kidding, for 2 years, Ava, are you going to review Daikaio? Ava, Daikaio is the greatest thing since Dragon Caesar. Ava, you've got to review Daikaio. Ava, could you please? 2 years, non-stop. And I wasn't kidding when I said that. Not even half an hour after I posted Daikaio, not even. Ava, are you going to review Mogyu Daio? Ava, can you review Samurai Hao? Can you do the Ushi Origami? You know what? For 2 years, it was all Daikaio, and for that same 2 years, after Shinkenger had run its course, I barely heard anything out of anybody regarding Mogyu Daio. It was, yes, there was Ava review Daikaio, because it's great, but I could probably count on one hand the number of times that people asked me, please, could you review Mogyu Dio? Could you please review the Ushi Origami? Could you please review Samurai Hao? Because it is such a clusterfuck Megazord. It's a clusterfuck Ultrazord is what it is. It's not even a Megazord, it's an Ultrazord. And by the way, just recently, Power Rangers Super Samurai announced the name of that thing. It's going to be called the Gigazord. What the fuck? For the last 19 years, they have been called Ultrazords. Gigazord? Why? Is that Bandai America's replacement name for Clusterfuck? Clusterfuck Ultrazord? Is that what they're trying to do? Gigazord? Who the hell is writing this stuff? To be fair, though, what was it, just day before yesterday, Collection DX posted a video review of, what's it called? The New York Toy Fair 2012. And there's the Mogyu Mogyu Bazooka, or whatever it is that they had in Shinkinger. It's going to be called the Ball-Zooka. And I lulled. So that's pretty much the only thing that's been of much interest to me as far as Super Samurai. Super Samurai? Why? Why are you calling it Super? Just call it Samurai. Get over it. Be done. Just shut up. I've been recording for another extra, 15 minutes now, and I looked at the clock, I was like, whoa, I don't think YouTube's going to let me post a 45-minute video. At least not on my channel. So, conclusions. I'm still obsessed with SDGO. I finally found out that there's a new type of, it's not a Gundam marker, although I am interested in learning more about that. The different types and how they're applied and people's experience with that. If you ever do Gunpla with Gundam markers, let me know. And yes, I already have your answers, Eltrax Millennium. But I still want to get a few more. I found out about a new paint device. It's not spray paint. It's not out of bottle or out of a jar. It's called a paint marker. It's essentially, markers that have ink in them for, drawing on paper. Well, this is the same thing except it uses paint. I want to get some more information on that. And obviously, they're not to be meant to be a replacement for a brush and a bottle. I get that. But if I could do like gold and green and yellow highlights and maybe some gray here and there, maybe black, I'll probably do that. That sounds interesting. And when I get some of those, just last night I had the notion that maybe what I should do is put together all of my SD Gundams that I have, do reviews of them, and then at a later time, kind of like I did with my Double X, what I should do is come back and remove the decals. How I'm going to do that, I'm not sure. Clean all the gunk off, the adhesive, clean the adhesive gunk off of there, and then go in and paint them the way I want them. So I'm thinking maybe I should do that, just so I can get the damn things built. Because we very much need more SD Gundam. Well, not even Gundam, but we just need more SD on CDX. I'm sure people are going to be asking, hey, Ava, since you're so obsessed with SDGO, why don't you do a video review of that? Well, if I had a free way of downloading and running a video game recording thingy, I would. But I don't, so I can't. But, yeah, I'm going to try and do more of that. As this is my first vlog entry for 2012, Happy New Year, by the way. What am I going to be doing? Well, I've already talked about Gobusters, so we'll see how that goes. Transformers, we've got Prime, Transformers Prime. Some of the sets look good. I'm gonna try and get I'm one of those trans fans who likes to get toys in scale with each other as much as possible. So, RC, Bumblebee, not Roadbuster. What's his name? The red-colored guy with the horns. Cliffjumper. Ratchet. Those are all going to be deluxe classes, so I'm probably going to get those, and then I'd like to get Voyager class Bulkhead, who looks pretty awesome, by the way. I'm kind of a fan. The new Voyager Optimus Prime, he looks awesome. I'm definitely going to get him, despite his flexible sword, which doesn't fit very well onto his hand. Megatron, Starscream, Soundwave, Viacon, I'm not sure where I'm going to go with that. And we're just getting first release pictures of War for Cybertron or Fall of Cybertron stuff. So it's so sad. Speaking of which, I've had War for Cybertron for 2 years now. I have the video game. I've just never been able to play it because my computer can't handle it. I put it on there and I was like, oh, it's on a PC. It'll be fine. And the frame rate was so slow just in the main menu for the game. I was like, oh, I can't play this thing. I didn't even try to play it. So I've been the proud owner of War for Cybertron for 2 years, and I've never played it. Yes, I would like to play it. Yes, I would very much like to play it. Yes, I'd also like to play Fall of Cybertron. And if they make Grimlock from Fall of Cybertron, yeah, I'm going to get it. That thing just looks awesome. Again, awesome trailer. Am I going to be getting Lego Lord of the Rings? Probably not. I've seen it. It looks interesting, but I'm probably not going to get any of them. There honestly isn't that much. I missed a few opportunities in 2011 for Lego sets, and I got a couple. You guys noticed the blitz of Lego reviews I did earlier in 2011, so that was cool. And Josh told me, Ava, give the Lego thing a break. I was like, okay. I've got a few more Star Wars Lego sets that I have that I want to review. I was going to review the updated X-Wing fighter. By the way, they're making a third X-Wing fighter, a full-scale minifig oriented X-Wing fighter. They're making another one to replace the one that I have, which has been on the market for 5 years, by the way, which is crazy insane for a Lego set. Yeah, there's not much in the way of Lego that's happening. Transformers, there's a couple of Transformers Prime stuff I'd like to get. I'd like to see what's upcoming for what's it called? Universe and Reveal the Shield and whatever the hell those lines are called. Yeah, we'll see what happens there. I'd like to see a Transformers Universe version of Cosmos, like Voyager class flying saucer of Cosmos. That'd be epic. Make that happen, Hasbro, Plasbro. Oh, and one last thing now that I think about it. I got in touch with Josh, and this was supposed to happen a couple of months ago. Damn, I wanted to get that Revoltech movie, Optimus Prime. That's just one of the... Oh, it's one of the best Bayformers out there. I can't say enough about Bayformers. I'll get to that another time. Actually, I already have in a previous vlog, but just... Oh, I want that Revoltech movie, Optimus Prime. Oh, I don't care if it's got mech-tech weapons all over. That thing is epic! Please! But anyways, I got in contact with Josh, and he's going to be sending me a bunch of Revoltech Evangelion Evolution sets. So, yeah, I kind of changed my mind. I mentioned this previously. I changed my mind about the Revoltech Eva units, especially the Eva Evo sets. And so I'm not quite sure when he's going to be sending those to me. Probably when I get my butt in gear and get off of SDGO and finish this one big review that I've had shelved for the last 3 months. No, I'm not going to say what it is, because I like to save stuff for surprises. Speaking of which, people ask me, well, now that you're done with Shinkenger, which one are you going to review next? Well, when I get this big review out of the way, I still don't know. I mean, there's the typical ones. Magi Ranger. I've gotten a lot of requests from Magi Ranger, Go-Onger, Power Rangers Dino Thunder, and Abadanger, Hurricaneger, which was the one I broke my... I broke into Collection DX. My very first review for Collection DX was the Senpujin. That was my very first review. I actually remade it. I actually remade the review 3 years later. So it actually runs longer in the second version. What? But people have been asking if I'm going to review that. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it eventually. So there's all those retro reviews. I actually have more Go-Onger toys than I do of any other line, because I actually have a bunch of the roleplay stuff too. Power Rangers Retro Fire line. In the Toy Fair stuff we had from the New York Toy Fair 2012, they had Retro Fire Samurai Megazord. Gag me, that thing looks awful. They had oh, and they also had pictured a what's it called, a Claw Battlezord. So there's a Retrofire Claw Battlezord. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm waiting for the Super Robot Chogokin stuff. So I still need to get my hands on Magic King, which is coming out in March. I think it's coming out. The SRC Magic King's coming out in March, and I'm still trying to get my hands on Deca Ranger Robo. So that got put off for some reason, although it wasn't my fault on that one. So yeah, Evangelion Evolution. Maybe some more Super Robot Chogokin. Oh, and very last thing, I finally got to see Transformers Dark of the Moon. Yes! And so to all of my 566 subscribers on YouTube, this is Ava Unit 4A saying thanks for tuning in.